I'm here in front of the abandoned Rocks nightclub. And why am I here in front of an abandoned building? Because I'm here to meet Wonder Hussy. You probably have seen her YouTube channel. Wonder Hussy goes to abandoned buildings, out of the way places in Las Vegas. And, oh, by the way, she also poses nude. She's a very interesting person. She's got a great story. You're going to love it. If you like my videos, please subscribe. And thanks for watching. Check it out. I just went on an adventure with Wonder Hussy. There she is.
Hi.
We just went into an abandoned building.
Yeah, it was a doozy.
That was, I mean, I met you specifically at an abandoned building because that's what you do. Mm-hmm. You go to abandoned buildings and abandoned places. This one was filled with homeless squatters. Very friendly homeless squatters. Has that happened before?
No, and it's interesting to me, like I kind of stumbled into this whole urbex, urban exploration thing by accident. I didn't even know it was a thing. I just made a video of this abandoned hot spring I was at once, and I got all these commenters on YouTube, and like it blew up. And people were like, yeah, you should do more urbex videos. Okay, so I looked it up, figured out what the deal. All right, so now I started going to all these abandoned places and doing videos, and for the most part, they're out in the middle of the desert, and there's nobody there. Like, they're so far from any town.
Right.
But people are always commenting on my videos. Oh, I hope you're carrying a gun. I hope you're packing heat. It's really dangerous in those buildings. I hope you're not alone. And that's true, but realistically, I always feel like the biggest danger is stepping on a nail or, you know, getting bitten by a brown recluse or something. Like, people don't scare me as much as... And to be honest with you, I'm not really scared of any of that stuff. Rattlesnakes, whatever. Like,
I
just
can see
use
that.
Common sense. And anyways, they were always warning me about some crazy meth head or squatter that's going to kill me. And so this experience that we just had, where we went to this abandoned nightclub.
Crazy meth heads and squatters.
There was a bunch of crazy
squatters,
addicts and squatters living in it. But they were super cool and friendly, and especially the main guy. He gave us a tour, and he was very... You know, he was nice, he gave me a hug, but he didn't, like, try to push himself on me. He was just totally cool. He,
right.
You know, he was probably fell on hard times because of drug use or whatever. But,
right. Apparently he's got some money coming.
Well, yeah, he's got this long story about an inheritance that he supposedly has. Right. But, so man, he was cool. Felt totally safe around him. I just feel like if you give people a chance, for the most part, everybody is all right.
Well, I just heard about urbex right now. Just hearing from you. That's a...
Oh, I'm sorry. Urbex. It's short for urban exploration. It's like...
I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't either until last October. It's a big thing. People love watching, like, Chernobyl places. That's like, I guess Chernobyl is like the holy grail of urbex. Right, if you can go get a video there.
Well, if you can survive long enough to make the video, then it would be the holy grail.
Right, or like abandoned insane asylums. Those are really big too.
Oh, sure.
We don't have anything like that around here. Most of the...
You've never been to my house.
Zing.
Yeah.
Most of the abandoned buildings and stuff around here are just old houses, old gas stations. I don't know, but it's in the desert, so the elements out here don't really, you know, like stuff will stay for a long time. Like I've been into some places where there's old books and magazines from like 50 years ago, just still sitting there. And
the thing is now, the reason I was hesitant to go in there, other than I'm not an urbexer, obviously, but the smell at the door was pretty pungent.
Oh, well, so I didn't feel like it smelled bad.
Once we got in, it wasn't bad.
No, I didn't feel like it smelled bad out front, or even once we got in the room. The only place where I really felt like, oh, this smells horrible, is when we went into the old bathrooms. Now, the old bathrooms, obviously the plumbing wasn't working anywhere and there was no water. But for whatever reason, these squatters still used the bathrooms to pee and poop in. So there was all these big gulp cups full of pee.
Right.
And there was a 5-gallon bucket full to the brim of bodily fluids, pee, toilet paper, and big turds. Like, it was pretty gross. And I'm not easily grossed out, man. Obviously, I'll do all kinds of crazy stuff, but that 5-gallon bucket full of poo was the closest thing I've seen in a while to make me bleh.
And by the way, when we say we, I did not go in there.
Oh, you didn't go? Well, me and the other guy did.
You and the other guy did.
I got footage of it, man. I had him shine a light on it.
I'm sure that it's...
I don't know, and that's another thing in my videos. For whatever reason, I always shoot the toilets in these places, and people are, why do you like toilets so much? It's just interesting to me to see these old toilets. Well, It wasn't a toilet, but it was a bucket, and it was somebody's toilet, so, hey.
That is a good question. So there's no specific reason that you like toilets?
No, I just like creepy, gross aspects of everything. So,
right.
I go into a place, I'm like, oh, well, look. I just went out to Zizix Road.
I heard it's pronounced Zykes.
No, it says Zizix at this, like, the guy who founded it.
Right.
There's a little thing that he drew up. It says, pronounced Zizix. So, anyways.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
It's cool. It's a really neat place, but, wait, I forgot why I brought that up now. What were we just talking about?
Toilets.
Oh, yeah, there was a toilet out there that was really creepy. I thought it had like a black seat on it and all. Anyways.
Yeah, it's a place without vowels.
Well, some people like football. Some people like going to nightclubs. I like toilets.
Okay. Okay, where are you from?
At that time, I'm from the Bay Area,
okay.
Silicon Valley. I worked at IBM and Adobe before I moved here. I had, like nice jobs. It was boring. I didn't want that kind of a life. I was sitting in my cubicle at Adobe writing a blog about, I'm going to move to Vegas, and I'm going to get a pink car, and I'm going to move to Las Vegas. And so I did. I got this 1986 Lincoln Town car. That was the car I wanted, this giant boat, and I had it painted Pepto-Bismol pink.
Nice.
And then I moved out here the next day. I drove to Las Vegas, moved here. I didn't know anybody. But again, I was still pretty shy. Like I was, at that time I was 23 and a half. So I had just started coming out of my shell, right?
Right.
Was new to the whole scene. But I come here, the first job that I got, I moved to Vegas. Like, I'm going to be a cocktail waitress at Caesar's Palace. Like, that was the dream job to me, right?
Right.
I had to wear this little toga, go around the casino, drinks, cocktails, make all this money. Everybody knows how much money cocktail waitresses make. So I come here, I go apply. Not that easy, especially back then.
Right.
You got to know somebody, you got to be in the union, this and that. Like, I had a hard time getting a job. So the one person in town that I knew, and I didn't even know that well, was like, well, hey, if you want a job, you should go work as a photographer in the showroom. Like you go to a show and the camera's, hey, good to go, let me take a picture.
Right.
Oh, okay, photography. I have an art degree. I'm an artsy person. Yeah, I would like that.
Right.
And supposedly it was good money. So, yeah, I actually ended up doing that for 12 years. I was a photographer at MGM and at Caesar's Palace. And it was, it's a job like any other.
Right.
But it was pretty good money. You make commission. You don't get an hourly or anything, but you only work 4 or 5 hours a night. And money was decent. You met interesting people.
Right.
But you were going into a room full of strangers and you're trying to sell them something obscenely overpriced. That's not easy to do, especially for a shy person.
Right.
So probably the first 3 years of the job, I had to have a drink every night before I went to work. Like I would have when I first moved to town, it was a Malibu and orange juice, lightweight, right? Very lightweight. Have a cocktail, just enough so I would have the gumption to drive my giant pink car to the MGM and go into the showroom.
So was it not rubbing alcohol or Everclear?
What, Malibu?
No, your drink of choice.
No, Malibu and orange juice. That's a lady's drink. That's
it still is?
Malibu. Oh, now my drink of choice? No.
Formaldehyde or?
No. I like, well, this is weird. Campari. I like Campari. It's like an old Italian lady liqueur.
Oh, okay. Brings me to when I met you, which I don't know if you recall, but was at the Santa Rampage 2015.
I gotta remember.
You were dressed up.
Silver thing?
You were wearing a silver thing.
Oh, okay. So for that, I was Jackie Frost. I have this electric vagina. That
I remember.
It's like a cod piece with an electrical outlet on it, and I had a frost gun plugged into it.
Right.
And the idea, and of course, I get all my ideas at the last minute, so I don't have the time to execute them properly. But the idea for that one was it'd be really cool to make a frost gun so that I could actually shoot people and like some kind of dry ice would come out of it.
Right.
So I did a quick, Google, YouTube search, and no, there's really no cheap, easy, quick way to make it.
So how did you do it?
I didn't. It was just a little ray gun, and it was pretend. It was make believe. I would just tell people, I'm Jackie Frost, ice pussy. You ever see that movie Christmas Story where the kid puts his tongue on the flagpole and it sticks to it?
Right.
Well, that's me.
And you came up to me and did that.
Yeah.
And then we started talking and we vibed. And
that was
and then my friend Kevin was talking to you, and it was just a fun. Now I didn't know that was because I went to the one this year as well, and found out that that's a whole burner thing.
Oh yeah, they do it twice a year. As a matter of fact, they also do it in July, which in my opinion is even more fun because in December seeing a group of 500 Santas is weird. Yeah. But seeing a group of 500 Santas in July is really like. Wait, what?
Oh, I didn't know they did in July too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you have a chance to go to that, and what's really impressive about the July, of course, the ladies, oh, it's hot, they'll just wear their skimpy little sexy Santa bikini.
Right.
But a lot of the dudes, man, they'll just wear their full-on Santa outfit in 110-degree weather. It's intense.
Yeah, I think I'll go with a thong myself.
I think you should.
But
it was kind of like the recession, like the 2008 recession era. I got in a bad financial mess, and I needed to make some extra cash. At the same time as that, I had just broken up with a boyfriend who was very square. Like, for whatever reason, I dated this really conservative guy for a couple of years, and we bought this house together and everything. Like, we were going to get married.
Oh, so the American dream.
Yeah-ish. I mean, I was like, I don't know. I wasn't sure about the whole thing, but I had such a good time with him, and okay, well, we bought this house and joined a country club, and
what?
Like, all my weird, because I've just always been a very artsy, eccentric person. I have mannequins and maps and all kinds of art supplies. All of that had to be put aside into this one room in the basement of our house. That was my kooky room. So I just sort of felt marginalized, I guess, until when we broke up, which was right around the time of the financial crisis. Broke up, and I was left holding the bag with this house. This huge mortgage was all in my name.
Mm-hmm.
But
how did that happen?
It's a long story, but I was just happy, like, in a way, like, okay, we broke up. I can be me again. I can take all my stuff out of this room in the basement.
The whole house is the art room.
I can be my bohemian, wacky self that I've always been. I just had, for whatever reason, gotten into this weird couple of years where I, dressed like a Stepford wife. So, I'm gonna start wearing all these crazy outfits and going to Burning Man and crazy stuff like that. And then I thought to myself, well, if I'm really such a free spirit, I'm so open-minded, why won't I pose nude? At that time, I was modeling just, glamour shots, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I should put my money where my mouth is.
Right.
So the first the first nude photo shoot that I did for free, just to prove a point to myself. And then I realized, because I was in this financial jam, I could make money off of this,
Who got the freebie?
Really good photographer in town here who's still a good friend of mine, and we shoot together still to this day quite a bit.
Right.
He goes by, his photo name is Shutterbug Studio. So we went out down by Jean under this on-ramp of I-15, like really an unassuming place, like, what? We're going to do nude photos here? That's kind of and true, first ever nude photo shoot, you hear all these horror stories. Oh, you be careful, don't go out to the desert with strange guys. Well, here's this guy that I never really met before this first photo shoot, right? Takes me out to the desert under a freeway overpass. Like, could have gone horribly wrong, but guess what happened? We just got really beautiful photos. I mean, he's an excellent photographer, and he understands light.
Right.
Not many photographers do that I've worked with.
And by the way, if you're looking at this footage, I don't, but
That's okay. This is, it's GoPro.
Yes.
He's he's a fine art nude photographer. He better understand light. Well, he did, and he got beautiful photos, and like I said, we're friends to this day. So I guess it's kind of a similar example to the whole thing we just went through. Like, oh, be careful, don't go in abandoned buildings. There's people that will kill you. Oh, be careful, don't go out to the desert with strange guys. They'll kill you. Oh, be careful of this. Oh, be careful of that. Like, people's lives are so ruled by fear. I feel like you're missing out on a lot. Like, let go of your fear. Be less of a worrier and more of a warrior. Like throwing more videos up, and dang, people really prefer to watch videos than they do write. I mean, and I'm able to use Google AdSense on my YouTube channel, so I actually make revenue. So I haven't updated my blog in a couple months, and I do still want to keep my blog up because writing is my passion. I love to write. But if I can make money going into an abandoned nightclub and talking to some meth head, hey, I got my priorities. I got to pay the bills.